It's hard. It's hard to see when you see the game what happened. We had so many chances. Normally we had to win, but you know in football you can be better in the game and don't score and you don't win, and that's what happened tonight. So it's hard for us, but we have another game in Dortmund. We have to win because we want to be at the top of the group.
Did you feel you played at your best levels tonight?
I try to be at my best level every night, to be important for my team, for my national team, for my club. It's my job. It's my job to score goals, to help my guys. But I think I could have more my team because I've had many chances and I didn't score more goals tonight.
Did you feel at the end there you had many chances, so you got what you deserved at the end of that pen?
Too many chances. You know, I think you watch many games and you see that in Champions League you have to score when you have opportunity. We had like 9, 10 opportunity clear and we don't score. So if we play like this in Dortmund and we score who goals, everything's gonna be okay.
Thank you so much for your time, Kylian.
Good evening.
Well, you say his name and he appears behind you. Eddie Howe is just shaking his head as we invite him over. He is really probably feeling exactly what you guys were just saying there. Eddie, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, how disappointing for all of that work that your players put in and exactly how hard they worked and exactly what you asked them to do, to be denied those 3 points by a dubious penalty, shall we say. I saw you didn't think it was a penalty. We saw what you said to your players. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, I'm still coming to terms with it, to be honest. Yeah, I feel really flat, but at the same time, very, very pleased with what the players have given today. I mean, you can see the squad is very, very thin. And what the players gave today in the game, their commitment, their execution. Yeah, we rode our luck at times, but I think we deserve that. And we sort of ran out of luck at the end because I didn't think it was a penalty.
We're going to show you it again here so you get a couple more replays and a bit of a closer shot perhaps. So you can talk us through whether or not that is a penalty for you.
Well, also, what you're not taking into account here, watching the replays, is how quick that ball, it was like so quick live. And it's hit his chest first, and I think that's the key thing. Yeah. I think if it hits his hands first, I still don't think it'll be a penalty because of the close proximity, but yeah, I think you can make more of a case. I don't think there is a case when it hits another body part first and his hands are low.
Eddie, I don't know if you saw the one earlier on in the game with Miley that hit his quad and then bounced up and hit his arm. VAR had a look at it and decided it wasn't a penalty. The exact same situation, and they didn't give the penalty.
Well, that's a frustrating thing, I think, whether the referees... You know, he's under pressure with every decision here with the crowd, which you might not be aware of at home, that the pressure put on the referee by the crowd was extreme, and, you know, it's the last seconds of the game and he's given it.
I didn't think either of them were a penalty, to be honest with you, and I think you're showing remarkable restraint and fair play to you. I thought it was a horrendous decision, and I don't know how you feel for your players. I thought your players, as you correctly said, gave you absolutely everything. They worked their socks off. You looked at your bench, you couldn't really get any help from me. I understand that, and then to get robbed basically by that decision by a referee who I thought up to that point was having a good game, but when he comes over and has a look at it, Eddie, and then he's actually watching it come off his chest and then hit his elbow where he's got nowhere to go, I just for the life of me can't get it.
Well, I think you summed it up better than I could because I'm not allowed to, so my inner thoughts are obviously...
Leave it to us to get
because, you know, I share every thought that you have there. Yeah, and I did think he was having a good game to that point because I think he'd been strong. He'd been strong with the correct decision until this moment, really.
Yeah. Eddie, we don't want to keep going over this. There are some other things, and it might be difficult to go over them now because you're so frustrated and it's so fresh. But wow, the likes of Nick Pope and the way that you defended today was incredible. How proud were you of those elements?
Yeah, Nick was very like he was against Milan away, where we really needed a giant performance from him. I think when we went 1-0 up, there was a hope that we could go and get a second. It didn't really happen in the second half. We looked tired. They had a lot of the ball. And then I think the players sort of accepted we just have to defend well here when we have to protect our goal like our life depends on it. And I thought we did. Nick was a huge part of that, as were all the other players in the team. And it looked like we got there. It looked like they'd missed some chances, and you can't deny that. But I think here, with our current situation, they're always going to have chances in that second half. But full credit to what the players gave today.
Eddie, what's going through your head at that moment? Because everyone could see they were tired, and you know they accepted, let's just defend the box, and they defended brilliantly. Is there any part of your mind that's thinking, should I go to 5 at the back?
Yeah, all those things are, of course, going through your head. But I think when we're defended so well in that shape, with that personnel for that long, sometimes you can make a change and it can have you know, the adverse effect, and that's, you never know with hindsight what would have happened. So we decided to stick rather than twist, and of course it didn't work.
Eddie, I know the major talking point will be the penalty. However, I thought your team were excellent, absolutely excellent, the way they worked for each other. And I thought they weathered the initial storm, which you probably would expect from coming to a place like this, PSG, first 5-10 minutes of the opening half. After that, I thought some of the football you played was excellent, particularly in the middle of the park. Guillemars, Joe Linton, Lewis in the middle of the park, they were terrific. I thought the work rate for Almiron.
Not be in the competition anymore, and then we're playing the last game, becomes a dead one.
Yeah.
We still believe we go to St James's Park against a very good Milan team, and you never know what can happen in the other tie. So as much as it's a huge deflating feeling now, it could just turn to be another story in our season.
Eddie, you've made a job of proving people wrong, so one more time, and like you say, take it to St James's Park, and anything could happen. We've seen already what felt like a miracle last time you were there against PSG, so fingers crossed for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming out and speaking to us. I understand how disappointed it is, but appreciate it so much.
Fantastic to be here. It makes a nice change from London, doesn't it?
Jamie,
it's not
how
bad.
you feeling?
It's not bad.
I'm loving it. I am loving it. What are we doing tonight?
We'll have a few sherbets, a few drinks.
Who's coming with us?
Who's paying?
Yeah.
T.
That's when you gotta call my name, okay. Wow, okay.
Can we also say very big welcome to Christina Uncle? This is the plus of being here in Miami. We get to see you in person.
Yes, we do. Bienvenido a my state of Florida.
Okay.
Miami. Vamos.
Did you come for an argument?
I'm always here for an argument.
Because I feel like we may have one tonight.
Big discussions. Let's go.
Okay, we're going to talk about this game. PSG versus Newcastle. 1-1 is the scoreline as the game goes to the final whistle. PSG is scraping away with that 1 point for the draw. Let's take a look at the first goal. Newcastle led for so much of this game. Alexander Isak with the first goal.
Yeah, and I've talked about Newcastle before the game. I thought it was excellent. It was so unlucky. Livramento does so well, gets it across. I mean, the keeper should do better here from the shot. But the striker's got to be there. Isak, right place, right time. If you just look at the footwork here, a lot of people are panicking that position, but no, he was calm, under pressure. Almiron takes a shot, and like I said, like any good striker, there to pick up the pieces.
Now, to be fair to PSG, there were so many chances that they had in this game, Terry, but just couldn't put them away.
No, they just couldn't, especially in the second half. Barcola had I think 3 or 4. Kylian could have scored also. He tried everything, as we mentioned. I mean, headers and Dembele had some also. Barcola couldn't finish the mezz right there.
Great save though, no?
No, I think it's a bad finish. Well, you have all the goal open on the other side. I mean, you go first post. It's a bad. It happened to me also, but that's a bad finish. And then he had another one. Look at the work of Kylian Mbappe there. Look at what he's going to do. Ball's going to come. He saw already. Like, open your foot up. He didn't. He wanted to close it. Goalkeeper was almost done. But if he plays that right, he wanted to put it there, it would have been amazing.
But you mentioned before about Mbappe's role there, but the one here he does, it was fantastic play. He was quite unlucky. You're right, Thierry, they were really poor finishes. This one, the actual body strength here from Mbappe now, he just knocks the defender out the way, gets the right foot shot off, and then you think the left foot one is going to end up nestling in that far corner. And probably the Paris Saint-Germain, they wish those chances that we saw here would have fell to that man there, because that was outstanding play. He was just a little bit unlucky, but...
What did he do wrong there, Jamie?
I mean, when you've got Thierry Henry sat alongside me, I think he is definitely the man to be asking. Definitely not me.
And this is a chance at the back post again.
What's he do wrong there, Thierry? What should he be doing there at the back post?
Just go down with it. I think you think that Kylian's going to touch it at one point, so he sees it late. But you always have to think that the ball is coming to you as a striker. Like, you always going to think that you're going to save it, right? We always think that we can have it, or you can go down with it to make sure that the ball will go down. But like I said, it wasn't his night, but they find a way to score.
Okay, then right at the end of the game, so 8 minutes of time added on, PSG are awarded a penalty. Christina, this is why we've invited you to the desk. Talk us through these pitches and tell us why you think it is or isn't a penalty.
So I'm going to go ahead and start out and say it is a penalty.
Oh,
Current different interpretations of FIFA. So as you can see, the balls there played through, and what is it? Extended left arm that creates essentially a barrier. Here we have the FIFA World Cup final referee, Marciniak, on this match. But what the VAR is setting down is to take a look. Once that left arm is out, even though there is a deflection, that no longer is part of the interpretation and the analysis. But since it's a barrier, it's preventing that ball from crossing in. This is an expected VAR recommendation for a handling offense that the referee on this match is not able to see from his angle and his positioning. However, I know this is one that many don't like on how we're applying and interpreting handling offenses, and that is something that the International Football Advisory Board, IFAB, even today in their annual business meeting have started discussing.
Yeah, but Christina, your job is to come here, educate us, tell us about the rules. So you're saying it's a World Cup referee, you know, the VAR, they've got that one right. That is an awful decision to go against you as a football player.
So
where else can us? I understand sometimes when you say you know the arms away from the body and things like that. He's so close, it takes a deflection. His arm is in a motion to run. Where's he actually supposed to put his arm? His arm is not stuck out just standing there. He's actually motioning to move and run and defend. You agree?
Yeah!
Yes! I've got the people! The power of the people are with me, Christina!
So two really big points to put there, right, is essentially what's getting, because it's in the law, is this word natural. You mentioned a silhouette, etc. outside, and this is a natural running motion. However, where interpretation and the application is trying to get away from being subjective and being more objective when we're applying the handling offense, which is coming out with these harsh decisions that people and the football community and the people out here do not like, and it's not on the referees in the sense of this. We are required to apply this at this point.
But nobody likes these. Supporters don't like them. Players don't agree with them. So
referees don't like them.
Do you agree with that ruling then? So you don't agree with the ruling?
I don't like the current interpretation and how we are required to apply it right now. And to this point, what the Football Advisory Board has specifically said in March, they're going to provide another clarification because we have gone too objective with the handling offense and it creates harsh decisions such as this one.
So this is going to get changed. You think next season that won't be a penalty?
I think next season they're going to end up interpreting and saying, when we're talking about natural, taking in these and maybe adding proximity as well as deflection back into the analysis, because those two are out, and that's what's creating these harsh analysis.
Okay.
Christina on fire.
You heard it here first. Next season, yes. No penalty.
She explained it very well.
Is that an exclusive, Christina?
That's an exclusive.
That's an exclusive. Next season, that's not a penalty. We hope.
We hope. You got popular. Okay. It was good to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. There was another game in that group, Group F, Group of Death. It was AC Milan at home at the San Siro against Dortmund. Really interesting game, this one as well. Thierry, let's go to you first. AC Milan win a penalty, can't take advantage.
Yeah, they got it from Chukwueze there. This one, I don't think there is. You can argue that. This one, I can understand actually why it's a pen. And then Olivier obviously didn't put enough power. Although you have to give credit to the goalkeeper, but they didn't put enough power in order to score. Obviously, the goalkeeper goes the other way. It's a great penalty. When the goalkeeper goes that way, you have to put more power and lower. Well, he missed.
And then that man, Bernard Gittins, lovely little shimmy there. It is fantastic there. We've been in that position as fullbacks at Wicara, and he just can't get your foot out of the way. And then Royce sticks it home perfectly after Giroud misses his.
And that man you just mentioned, Gittins, beyond Gittins, he then gets the second goal. Are we not going to show that?
Yeah, I think we were just going to talk to Christina for 1 second first. And just two penalty decisions. Were you happy with
Make
both
sure we
of
get
them?
our money's worth.
Yes, why not?
Get all the money's worth. This one I'm there with TT on that one. There was a secondary movement. At first, your initial impression there, you think that his arm is really tight, but when you see that secondary movement, he's only making himself larger to prevent that shot on goal. So yellow card penalty, correct decision.
Okay, as per Jamie's request, here are the rest of the goals. Let's take a look at them, go through them. Jamie, you want to take us through?
I want to talk about this man beyond Gittins. But no, we're not going there. We're going to a 1-1.
Chukwueze.
Yeah. I mean, why not go with the AC Milan? I mean, it's a brilliant goal. He was involved in the penalty as well. I mean, this is what happens when you're on a flight in the first half. But it is a fantastic goal. Goes through a couple of legs, slight deflection. But as I said, he got the penalty, so maybe he gets that little bit of luck that he deserves. But let's go.
Easy man.
Well, I'm giving it to you.
No, he was outstanding. And Thierry was talking about him before. What he says, only just 19. He's a real talent. And this is an exceptional finish, the way he just pulls off and guides it into the bottom corner. Really brilliant, composed finish. and that made it 2-1, Jamie.
Yes, but they weren't finished there, were they, Thierry?
Listen, Dortmund, I have to say, I didn't think they were going to play the way they play at Newcastle. And now they just show that they deserve to be where they are. And Mike, obviously, we don't want to see that again. That's a mistake. It can happen to anyone. The goalkeeper makes a mistake, obviously a goal straight away. But you have to give Borussia Dortmund a lot of credit, and that they hear me, because they kept on going, they kept on trying. The start wasn't easy. Obviously, the goalkeeper did what he had to do. 1-1. Milan were in control, and suddenly they went ahead again, and they never looked back.
Qualified. They're done. It's getting tight, isn't it now? PSG, Newcastle. Who's going to get second?
Are we going to Newcastle?
I don't know.
I
Ask the
think
boss
PSG are
man.
favourites, aren't they? So.
Oh, yeah.
Match day 6 is a cracker, though, isn't it? Dortmund at home against PSG, Newcastle versus Milan. It is an incredible end to that group. Congratulations to Dortmund. By the way, we can now take you out over to the San Siro to Jesse Marsh, who was speaking to Christian Pulisic. Take a listen.
Christian, obviously a tough loss for you guys, but I thought you had a good start. So take us through that a little bit and the penalty.
Yeah, I think we had some really good moments in the game. Obviously, a missed penalty, it's it can happen. It's unfortunate, but even after they went and scored, we came back and got one back, and then we're really pushing. I thought we had good momentum towards the end of the first, going into the second half, and just a little lapse in concentration allowed them to get the
Yeah,
goals.
I mean, I think your best stretch was at the end of the first half when it was 1-1. It looked like you guys were going to be able to push the game. What was the talk like at halftime, and then how'd you felt like you came out of the half?
Yeah, I mean, just to continue with that momentum, and I thought we did a good job of that, and we had a few opportunities, like I said, beginning of the second, and just couldn't take advantage. Wasn't our day. They defended well, and they scored on a few, in some transition moments.
Yeah, I mean, I think you had a really good chance with the scissors kick. A little unlucky that didn't wind up a goal. And I thought you were super active in the second half and trying to create some things and taking guys one-on-one and creating some advantages. I mean, that part was good to see, and you guys were a little bit unlucky not to find a second and a third goal in there.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously disappointing, like I said. There's some positives we can take out of it. But all we can do is focus on trying to win the last game.
Yeah, and you guys are still alive, so that's got to be the focus. So good luck to you.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, gents. Speaking of getting our money's worth from Christina Unkel, who's been here all day long, by the way, some of us only turned up halfway through and have worked a half a day. So do we cut your pay by 50%?
Half your wages? Yeah.
And I'm going back tomorrow. Yeah?
So you're happy to take 50%?
Not a problem. The money
Really?
I'm earning, 50%'s not a problem.
Okay, fine. Pete, you heard that. He heard it.
Just happened at the end of that game.
Yeah, unfortunate, for us to get a goal against so late. I think we started defending our goal maybe a bit too early. They managed to create many chances, but yeah, it's never nice, to concede a goal that late.
Do you feel it was a penalty?
My first reaction was that it wasn't. I think that was a bit cheap, but I haven't seen it back, and hopefully, if the pen was given, it should have been. So we have to trust the refs.
Does this feel like a bit of a hard one to swallow, because the performance that you've all put in all night was exceptional?
Yeah, of course, days to come. I think they haven't lost in some time, so. I think we did great. Of course, we got a bit tired, in the end defending. But yeah, we almost got the win. But yeah, a bit unfortunate.
Well, it is a point, so the group, it is still possible in terms of qualification. How do you feel about that?
No, that's good. I mean, we always want to win, but we can't win. At this point will probably be important. And we have all to play for in the last round.
And I appreciate it's probably had the shine taken off it just a little bit with what happened at the end there. But your first Champions League goal, was that a proud moment for you?
Yeah, that's a proud moment for me. Didn't score my first 2 games, so it was a big goal for me.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for talking to us. Well done.
What was happening there?
There's
was his body unnaturally bigger?
Unnaturally bigger? I mean,
I didn't write this.
All I know is when you look at that decision there, it's one of the most disgraceful decisions I've seen in a long, long time. And the reason being is because you look at the nature of the game, all the energy that the players have put into it, and it comes down to a really shocking decision that a referee has made. And it's a deflection off his body onto his arm. Not in any walk of life is that a penalty. It just isn't. So you can clearly see it hits Livramento's chest, as Ali said, onto his arm. You know, I really am, because it's just there is that feeling of just like you've been cheated. And I think as a player, when you've been out there, and they put everything into that game, and they had to change the way they played in the second half. They had to go, let's just defend the box now, and they threw everything at it. Nick Pope made some of the best saves he's ever made, and it should be kind of one of those historical wins that really leads them into the, you know, this last game. AC Milan, you know, they can still go through, don't get me wrong, but they've been robbed. They've been absolutely robbed.
It will be difficult for them now, and you're right. And all the work that they put in, especially Alice, we just said that Livramento had such a brilliant game leading into that exact moment, and unfortunately, it will be remembered for that, or at least it's that they owned
the whole
away.
night, Laura, sadly, will be remembered by that decision. I mean, if Newcastle had lost 3-0, you know, and that penalty was in the last minute, we're not really talking about. We're just saying it's a poor decision. Let's move on. But that has affected the whole outcome of Newcastle. Eddie Howe will be thrilled with the way his team. You look at his bench. He couldn't go to the bench, so his team worked their socks off. They doubled up in full-back positions. They tucked in, protect centre backs. Everything. Fantastic saves, but you need that when you come to places like this. But that incident and that penalty given an added time has just spoiled literally the whole evening.
Is it even more frustrating for Newcastle fans when there was an incident in the game that was very, very similar, and the decision was no penalty?
It's not very similar. It's exactly the same. So this is on Miley, and it bounces up off his quad onto his arm, right? That went to VAR. VAR had a really good look at it and decided that's not a penalty. I don't get how somebody watching VAR can look at that and go, that's not a penalty, then look at the incident at the end of the game and say that is a penalty. It's almost it's complete negligence to the game and what the players deserve, because there's nothing about it that is a penalty. I don't get how it's
neither of them.
I'm so frustrated.
Neither of them are penalties. Neither of them are penalties. I tell you,
it's a shocker.
They're going to have to bring in the word deliberate back into the law somewhere, right? They're going to have to do that, Laura, because if you're a Newcastle player or supporter, you're devastated.
It's one of the things in the UEFA ruling is if it's a it's one of the things in the UEFA ruling is if it's a deliberate handball, or if you've made your body unnaturally bigger and it hits
neither
your
of those have
hand
happened.
your arm. Sorry.
I know, turned on I know, sorry.
Oh, this job's hard sometimes, isn't it?
The messenger's getting here, sorry.
For what it's worth, I totally agree with you. It's a really difficult position for them to be put in. Not only that, can we look at the parts of the game where Newcastle did play out their skin?
Of style, I'm talking, of course, about the French capital, Paris. We're at the Parc des Princes. I'm Derek Ray, joined here on the commentary box by Lee Dixon, and this has all the makings of a highly engrossing match. It's Paris Saint-Germain up against Newcastle United.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. All that work in the week, all that chat in the dressing room, all that stops now. It's put your game face on, get down to it. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Well, didn't seem to be too much in that offside decision. Introducing the Paris Saint-Germain starters. Keylor Navas is the goalkeeper. Presnel Kimpembe plays alongside Marquinhos in central defence. Idrissa Gueye plays alongside Marco Verratti in the engine room. And the main striker is the precocious Kylian Mbappe. I must say, it's always great fun to chronicle a match through the prism. Must take the lead here. It's still alive. Gueye. Now Neymar. The timing was perfect. It had to be.
Well, you can tell what the fans think of that decision. They're certain it should have been a penalty.
And attempting the through ball. He takes aim. Oh, a tremendous block. Oh, covering up defensively. The ball back with PSG now. Player in the way again. And out of play for a Paris Saint-Germain throw-in. Mbappe. Gueye. They could nudge in front. Oh, crucial tackle. Brilliant. Well, it didn't happen for them in attack. Matt Ritchie. Plenty of forward momentum here, but can they produce? Almiron. Can they convert? I don't think the goalkeeper will be complaining about poor finishing like that, Lee.
No, it's not about the goalkeeper, it's about that poor effort. That really is awful.
Paredes. Still on level terms, moving the ball nicely. Well, it could be on for him here. Still a chance.